I want to thank proponents and opponents for your decorum and for abiding by our committee rules. We will now open to committee member questions or comments. I have Vice Chair Logue.
Thank you, Dr. Pan. I appreciate your willingness to hear all the sides of the argument.
Of course.
If the parents are unable to find a doctor and will not sign the form, what happens to those children concerning public schools?
Well, I think that if you saw here, I don't think you probably, my guess is that I don't know if you can tell me whether you've seen as many physicians here declaring that they would actually help out parents. There are 150,000 practitioners under this bill who would be able to sign such a form. There's even licensed practitioners like Dr. Sears who would be able to sign such forms, and there's many others. In fact, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the AMA, and other organizations like the World Health Organization have all declared, their ethical bodies have all declared that even if a patient or family decides not to get their child vaccinated, they should not be discharging. So I think that the likelihood of that is very small. In fact, the state of Washington, which has a similar law, they decided, because people said, well, what happens if someone, they set up a hotline, I think they only got 6 calls in the entire state. So it's clearly, there's a lot of people who are available to be able to sign these forms. So that scenario that you're presenting is an extremely unlikely one.
Dr. Pan, thank you for that. But what would happen if they wouldn't be able to find somebody?
Well, again, I said it would be extremely unlikely. I mean, there's according to this, and again, according to this bill, there's 150,000 practitioners who would who have legal right to sign this form. So, and we can certainly, and I'll tell you, we have the leadership of a lot of the organizations here. They will step up, and if someone really cannot find, we'll find somebody to sign the form for them. I mean, that's not an impossible thing to have happen.
Thank you, and I appreciate your answer. Maybe I can ask Dr. Sears. Can you answer that question for me, sir?
Yes. Thank you for the button. Clearly, the biggest issue here is, can you find a doctor to sign on the bill? And I've presented evidence that 39% of pediatricians nationwide will not, and I haven't seen a study presented by the Honorable Dr. Pan stating anything besides that number. I feel that parents will not be able to enroll their kids in school because they'll have a very difficult time. And I will add, the addition of the naturopathic physicians to this only adds 200 naturopathic physicians statewide who will be able to sign. It's a very tiny additional.
Well, let me ask, if somebody could answer the question, what happens if nobody signs the form? What happens to that child going to school? What happens? I just want a short answer. What happens? Yes.
They can't go to school.
Is that true?
Actually, that.
Okay.